Hey there guys, welcome to another drawing tutorial. Today's video is going to be drawing Grimlock from the Transformers universe. As always, I'm going to start off with the center point, which I like to find, and usually it's the eyes. So we're going to start with a straight line. For those of you that know who Grimlock is he's a Dinobot, and he's from this Dinobot is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And he's a Gen 1, so this drawing is actually the first generation Grimlock. So we've got his eyes, it's almost a mask, I guess. It looks like a motocross rider's mask. Okay, and from there, above his head, there's a big square shape. There's a lot of the Autobots have this type of rectangular shape. Optimus Prime, if you've seen the Optimus Prime video, has a very similar shape to it. And we're just going to come on the inside again. We're just going to copy that outline. So coming off from here, there's almost a peak to, like, it almost looks like the peak to his helmet. So we're going to come out from the sides about halfway, just a very small line. We're going to draw a diagonal line down, and we're going to do the same on this side, diagonal line down, and a short line just coming slightly below the height of the goggles or the glasses there. So not quite all the way to the edge, about halfway down we're going to draw a line that comes there and there. Actually it comes slightly lower down, and then we're going to draw a diagonal line down again and into there, and there's just some fine detailed lines coming around the edge of this front of his mask. That's what it looks like, some sort of mask to me. Just a little bit of detailing in there. Okay. So on either side of his head there are almost these, again, they're a little bit like Optimus Prime's. The sort of horns or ears, I guess. So we're going to draw a line at a slight angle either side, and then coming down from there a diagonal line, not quite as steep as these lines, and then we're going to follow on down, coming just below the height of here, and another diagonal line out, and then down. And they are just coming to about the same height as the edge of this part of his mask here, where we've got a little bit of the detailing in. And then in, I'm going to leave this side because we've got his shoulder in here, so we'll finish that in a second. There's just a small detailing on the back of his head there with some parallel lines, which we're then going to draw running down the top of this helmet here. Okay, so we've got a thin line that follows the shape of whatever this is, the horn, the head. What it actually is, because I used to have this Transformer, this is the bottom of the T-Rex's head, so the T-Rex's head folded back there. So this is the underside where it connects to the body of the T-Rex. So I do know what this is, but the actual look of it, I'm not entirely sure what this looks like. It almost looks like an Egyptian pharaoh or something with his mask or his hood. Okay, so we're coming on to the body now. Like a lot of these Transformers, they have this kind of breastplate in their middle area, and this is no different. So we're going to draw. There's a lot of straight lines and boxes that make up Grimlock here. So just making sure that you're keeping this Sharpie pen moving at all times. Diagonal line down here. And we're actually going to add some perspective to these to make it look more three-dimensional. line that just follows this around here. Okay, there's a little bit of detailing here and here. And then we've got the Autobot sign in the centre. The Autobots are the good guys, the Decepticons are the bad guys. And this is my second Autobot that I've drawn. The first one was Optimus Prime, which if you've not watched yet, go and check that out. Optimus Prime was my favourite Transformer. 1986, I believe they were released. That made me the ripe age of 6 years old when they came out. And I can remember getting Optimus Prime for Christmas. I was over the moon with it. So coming down from this breastplate, we've got some straight lines that are going to represent, I guess, the torso area. And again, we're just going to make sure that these lines are running so that we get this perspective so it looks almost three-dimensional. It's not a flat shaped body. And there's some detailing under here. The top of this body comes into here and then off at a slight angle. We're going to have a detailing line coming in there. Okay, so we've now got a shoulder to fit in here. And these were the actual Tyrannosaurus Rex's legs. You'll see in a second that his hands come out of what appear to be the dinosaur's feet. So the bottom of his feet were where the hands came out of. So we're going to draw a boxed shape here. If you can draw three-dimensional cubes, then you're going to find that this isn't too difficult a drawing for you. Again, they're one of those things that I can remember practicing at school, and every time I had a pad of paper, I'd practice drawing circles and three-dimensional cubes and things like that, which has obviously stood me in good stead to draw things like this. Okay, so we've got his fist in here. We've got one finger here. They're sort of cone shapes. And then what is his index finger? Looks like there's a gap in there where his knuckles bending. And then we have a thumb that's tucked in there. Coming down to this shape for his knuckles. And then down and rounded off there. So we've got a fist shape here, and this is in the centre here is entirely blacked out. So this is the hole. So as you moved this part forwards, this hand retracted back into the hole here, and you'll see what I mean by the feet of this dinosaur now. There's one toe. There's another toe sticking out here, so these are the three toes of the dinosaur's foot. It was a T-Rex that you when you transformed it from the dinosaur into the robot, this was the dinosaur's foot, but it actually turns into the hand and the arm of the robot. And we've got coming off here what I believe, if memory serves me right, this was the small hand, the claw that the T-Rex has. It's got these two very small claws or little tiny hands that come up, and this was one of them coming back in here, and there'll be another one on the other side. So coming down from here, let's go on to this next part of the body. So we're going to come down with some straight lines here and here and there. And again, like most of these characters, they have this funny shaped pelvis. A lot of characters, cartoon characters that I've been drawing recently, have this type of shape to them. Even the Marvel superheroes, more rounded with the Marvel superheroes, because obviously they're not robots, but it's a similar idea, similar shape. It's this kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, I don't know. Anyway, so we've got this lined area with some detailing coming in. And then from there we're going to come on to the legs. So we've got two squares, one coming in here and one coming in here, which I guess are the thighs of this robot, and they're just slightly diagonaled off at the edges, so slightly, I think the word's mitered. My brother's in the trade, and I think when you make an edge like this you call it mitering, and certainly in woodwork, but they're not total squares, they're not completely squared off. They've got this almost, it makes them look almost rounded, but they're not round. So we've got two of those. And then we've got these huge feet. Now again, I remember, this is bringing back some memories now of me having this Dinobot as a toy. These legs, they're huge, but these actually rolled in and up and became the back of the T-Rex. So we're going to put some detailing in here, and it's just going to make this look slightly more three-dimensional. It's going to have a stepped effect coming down here, so it's going to look as though this is coming out towards you. And there we go. And then the foot over onto the left-hand side here is on a side-on angle, so you'll appreciate just how big Grimlock's feet were. Grimlock was the leader of the Dinobots. There were 3 or 4 in total. There was a Stegosaurus, which the name evades me at the moment. There was a flying dinosaur, a pterodactyl. There was a Triceratops called Slag, and then there was Grimlock. I think that was it. There may have been more that came in the series later on, but I think they were the original gang. So you can see that this foot is on a side-on view there. So just coming up to the second hand now, the final hand. Just seeing a little bit of detailing that we've not got in here to represent the back, I guess. So yeah, we've got his right hand. It's to the left as we look at it. So we've got a rounded shape for his shoulder. So this is front on. It looks like a square, but actually, as I'm looking at the reference here, what we've got is we've got a slightly rounded shape there. And again, we've got some boxes that make up the sections of the arm. So being sure to keep these lines nice and straight, keep this pen moving so that it doesn't bleed into the paper. And then we've got, this is the black void, the same as this here. So we'll colour that in black very quickly. So this is, again, like I say, this is the hole that the hand retracts into when the legs come down and around, making the legs of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And we've got these 3 toes of the dinosaur itself that you will understand what I'm talking about, that this is the actual bottom of the foot of the actual dinosaur, and they're the 3 toes. And then we've got his hand again. It's 3 visible fingers here. There might be 4, but I think it's just the 3 one. Yeah. And the index finger's got this gap in the middle here, which looks like a bend. And then we've got the thumb coming back and under. A little bit of detail for the knuckle. And then that falling into the hand there. Couple of details going on at the back here. I think this is the other claw, the other hand of the T-Rex there. And I think we're about done. I think I'm just going to colour in a couple of the areas. Let's go for his mask area here. If I remember rightly, his mask or his head was black. So we did have a black head to this robot. So we'll just detail in a little bit of this. If this is the first video you've watched of mine, thank you very much for clicking that thumbnail. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've given it a go. Check out the rest of my tutorials. I've done a few series now. I've done Marvel superheroes, Pokemon. I've drawn some movie characters, some horror movie characters. I'm really enjoying doing them. They're quite fun, quite easy, but I'm also very keen on doing my realistic pencil drawings. So go and check those out. I've recently released a Stormtrooper from the Star Wars franchise in graphite, so that's quite realistic. It's photorealistic actually. I've had some really good feedback from that, so check that out. There's a bit of time lapse in some of my graphite drawings because the graphite drawings do take such a long time, sort of in the region of 30 hours, where this has probably taken me 20 minutes. So rather than boring you and sitting you down and watching 30 hours of me drawing, I do time lapse some of those. So don't be put off by the length of time that you think that they're going to take me. So go and check those out. If you've subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. It means an awful lot as small YouTube channels to get new subscribers and people watching the content. Thanks so much for watching. It means an awful lot. And I will see you in the next video. That's my Grimlock drawing. Check the other Transformer videos out. Subscribe to the channel. Check the website out, ihowtodraw.com. That's I, the letter I. And I will answer any questions. Let me know if there's any series that you'd like me to cover, and I'll get back to you with that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.